Hello everybody and welcome back to another new video on the channel. Today we're talking about the newest episode for Boruto episode 87, and it came out this Sunday, and I was honestly surprised that it came out this Sunday because I thought that they were going to save this for next week, and that would have been it. But then again, it doesn't really make that much sense because next week we're going to have obviously New Year's, and by the way, I'm recording this on Christmas Day, the 25th. And by the time you're seeing this, it's probably going to be on Wednesday, so it's the 26th. So I hope everyone had, the best holidays that they got. I hope everybody got what they wanted for Christmas. Merry Christmas, and of course, Happy New Year's. I'm going to make a video for New Year's for whenever that rolls around. Probably going to record that after this video, to be honest. But we're here to talk about Boruto episode 87, and not a lot of plot relevance kind of happened in this episode besides like one or two things, mainly like two things like that I have on my mind right now. But most of the episode was actually a lot of action between I forget the guy's name. He was one of the fabrications. I forget his name. I'm probably gonna have to figure it out in a second. So. His name's Kako, right? And that's his name. I completely forgot what his name was for his second name for a second there. But Kako, one of the fabrications, along with like Sakie and a couple others, like two more, like and then Lord Ku, of course. But he was mainly the one that was fighting in this episode, and like I said, the whole episode itself, it had like one or two plot points, but the episode was mainly fighting. It starts off with Boruto and Kako fighting each other, and eventually later on, as the fight between those two continues on, sooner or later, Sawada and Chocho actually join along in the episode, and they're actually pretty pivotal in the fight. And speaking of like the fight in terms of animation and camera work, I thought it was actually really good in this episode, and it shows that if they put in a lot of effort for certain fights that should mean something, especially for what happened in the previous episode, that it can actually be really good. Like I said before, like episode 84 and 85, those episodes didn't really serve as anything. Those were just to stretch out this entire arc itself, and it just felt really pointless. But this episode actually just kind of shows that it actually has like some relevancy, because this episode and this fight that's going on with Kako versus Boruto, Sawada, and Chocho, it shows a lot more reasonings as to why these fabrications, as Inoki likes to call them, that they have free will and they have a heart and they have their own mind of their own, and they want to do whatever they want. Eventually they're gonna probably follow behind Inoki in the first place, but Inoki's not going to be able to fully control them eventually, and they're going to want to have to do other things on their own. They're not going to want to protect humans anymore because they're not human. They're created artificial beings, and they want to be able to do whatever the hell they want. Because many times in this episode, Kako was told not to kill Boruto, and they're all told not to kill anyone. And yet they're all already out here, hurting a bunch of people, and Kako, this entire fight, is trying to basically kill Boruto and the others. So it basically just shows that his will is to continue on fighting and feeling more like a human through a means of a fight, and that actually leads on inevitably to his death, because he does die by almost before he killed Boruto. Boruto almost died in this episode because this guy actually knows dust release, particle style, and when I was watching it, I was surprised for a second, but then I was like, well, Inoki's like whole thing with these guys is that they're supposed to be like really strong to be able to protect all the humans and all the villages. So it makes sense that they have like some crazy like hacks OP like stuff like Keketoda's like dust release. So it makes sense in context of what's going on with this arc. But I was a little like taken back because I thought Lord Ku was the only one who knew it. But it just shows how powerful these guys truly are, but they're not all fully stable, because the entire time of the entirety of the fight, they're all picking up on the fact that this guy can't really spam jutsu. And I say spam, but he can't like shoot out like a dust release and then do like an earth style mud wall, like back to back. Not only because dust release actually takes a lot of chakra, but because his body and just everything about him isn't stable, and eventually it gets to a part in the episode where he actually forces a jutsu, and it ends up taking a toll on his body, and he starts to kind of break and kind of dissolve. I guess that's the word I'm going to use for the example. But it's showing that these guys are really strong and really powerful, but they're still completely unstable, and that was the whole reason for Mitsuki being there in the first place. And like I said, the whole animation and the camera work, especially the camera work, because that was what really surprised me the most. I didn't really expect certain aspects of like the fight and like certain scenes to look as good as it does, but it looks pretty damn good, and I'm really surprised. I mean, it does help that they actually had the director that helped work on the Boruto movie, and I think a couple other episodes before in the past, like in Shippuden, but like most notably the Boruto movie. So that's not really that much of a surprise that they had a director like help out from the Boruto movie into this episode. But it shows. It shows that they put a lot more effort and a lot more time into making the episode really, really good instead of just stretching it out and giving us, pointless episodes like 84 and 85. It shows that they can be this episode and not this episode, but this whole arc in this series can actually be really fucking good. Episode 65 or Momoshiki versus Sasuke and Naruto, it shows that this whole series can be really good if they really put a lot of effort into it instead of just wanting to stretch it out and make a profit. That's what it just seems like to me. But to back to like plot relevant stuff, Shikadai is actually in the episode, and he finally gets to the Tsuchikage's like office area, and he contacts his dad Shikamaru because Naruto actually wasn't in the office at the time. He was called upon like the village elders or whatever for something. We don't really get context of what the hell it was, but he wasn't in the room basically. And Shikamaru was there. He answers the call, and Shikadai explains to him what the hell is going on. And then it cuts off, showing that Shikadai almost got caught, but he got out in time. And then it cuts back again to Naruto. Now Naruto, Tsunade, Kakashi, and Shikamaru are in the room, and basically they're saying like we got to get there as soon as possible, right? We got to be able to stop this and put all this to an end, right? But legally and with the rules and the situations that is going on with like the whole world as of now, they can't just go there on their own. Like Naruto can easily just go there at any moment that he wants to, but in order to retain peace and keep this treaty intact, they have to go and contact the other villages to be able to get their permission in order to be able to stop what the hell's going on over there. And most likely they're going to tell him, like, yeah, go ahead. But then again, maybe they're going to give us a scene that shows, like, nah, let's just, like, have the Stone Village do whatever, yada yada, right? But then Naruto is going to say some stuff, talk no jutsu, I guess. But, eventually Naruto's going to be able to have to go over there. But Konohamaru's there. I wonder what he's going to be doing this entirety of this arc. I wonder what he's going to be doing, honestly. Kurosuchi kind of seems like she's not really doing anything. She's like still in her cell, which is kind of weird. But those are like the really like two like big plot points that were happening in this episode and were worth talking about. Because other than that, like I said, the whole entire episode was a lot of action. But for what it's worth, the action is really damn good. It looks really damn good for an episode. An episode of this caliber, especially for a series that isn't profound for knowing that it has good animation for certain fight scenes, because a lot of the fight animations and just fight scenes in general were like all either okay or really bad, but well, not really bad, but just okay or like not as good as it could have been. But then we had episode 65, and now we have this episode where it shows that this is still a continuation of the Naruto series, and Naruto is known for having some of the best fight scenes in my opinion, of course. But the episode continues on. Like I said, Kako, he ends up, pushing himself to his limits, and eventually he just, flat out dies. He almost kills Boruto with a dust release, like a giant, like, dust release cube. Almost kills Boruto, but obviously, plot conveniences and Boruto being the main character, obviously he doesn't die. For a second, I was like, wait a minute, are they actually gonna, like do like some weird shit where like he goes to like some other dimension for some reason? No, like that would have been really weird. They did that, but no, Kako dies. Boruto's fine because plot and being the main character. Inojin shows up, and it seems like he's just gonna be there to like help out or whatever. No, he actually turns out to be under genjutsu by like the girl like of the group. I forget her name, and I'm gonna try to figure out what her name was or what her name is or like whatever. But basically, she can do a genjutsu with her eyes. Like it's like an ocular genjutsu, but not like with the Sharingan or anything. It's just like her own ocular genjutsu. and that's right now she currently has Inojin under Genjutsu. And with the previews that we have for the next episode, whenever we're gonna get that, probably sometime after like New Year's or something like that. Probably it's probably gonna be after New Year's when we're gonna get the next episode for Boruto. So I might be off, not be doing videos for a little bit, but I actually have a couple other videos I want to do, so be on the lookout for that. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this video for what it's worth. If I had to say if you should watch this episode or not, go and watch it because it's actually pretty exciting. It's a lot better than what I was anticipating. I wasn't sure what they were gonna do in terms of just like Kako, like this guy who kind of just seems like he doesn't have any development. But for what it's worth and for how long he was here, he did get development and he did service a point that you know, Onoki is a huge hypocrite for not really understanding that these guys have their own free will as well, and it could eventually backfire on him, which I think is it's going to happen. So, anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like. If you are new, subscribe for more videos just like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a fantastic day. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. I don't know when you're gonna see me next time, but it's probably gonna be after New Year's. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.
Got that.